Hi, this is Al. This is my first content that I'm creating for YouTube ever. I'm currently playing around in the Diamond League, so I'm not a pro of any kind, but I think I'm pretty okay at the game. Uh, this is a strategy created for the Ottoman civilization, strategy or a build order. Um, I figured that this civilization can play much like the Mongol civilization, with the early towerrush into a fast castle. But I do think that this civilization has some perks that makes it even stronger than the Mongols. Um, Much of it is because the current meta isn't to go this way, so no one will expect it. Um, I also heard Ozzy Drongo speaking about it in one of his streams when I was already doing this, so that was like a confirmation for me that it might be viable. Um, why, is why this strategy is so good for the Ottomans is basically from the start you have bonus resources. You see down here you have 200 wood instead of 150, which will help you out with the towers. It also has the vizier system that this bad boy over here, the Anatolian Hills, that gives you 8 sheep, that is 2000 food. Uh, and also it gives you better mining time, which is exactly what you need if you want to spam man-at-arms all around the place. But enough of that, let's get going. You start off with the standard military school opening. You send 5 to stone and 1 to sheep, and then you just collect the sheep with the scout, move around. I usually select one of these stone workers with a hotkey, so I can remember him for later. You build a house in the front, as you do. You don't want houses in the back, as that will screw up with your production, because you want your production in the back. Once these guys come back and collect, you send 3 of them to wood, 1 of them goes to food, and 1 will build a military school. The scout will just take 1 turn around this area, or this area if you prefer, and then later on go check the opponent's side and see what he has. You will rally onto food until you have 8, and then you will rally to gold. Speed this up a little bit. See, the guy come back to food. Scout comes around. And you see we're slowly building up the wood. Speed up a little more. Alright, we're bringing in the sheep. I want to kill them off soon as well. There you go. You go up to the mining camp. And there you go, just pause right here. You take the 3 villagers from the straggler tree, you start them on the wood line. You send 2 of the villagers to cut the trees and 1 to finish off the mining camp. That way the trees will be already down by the time the camp finishes, and you will get best efficiency that way. The moment the spearman pops out, you will take the hotkeyed villager and turn in the food, and then he will join the spearmen as well. Now, the difference here between the Ottomans and the Mongol one is that, first of all, this is a little bit delayed. The Mongol one is earlier, and you get more spearmen going up. So I do think that this is viable in the Diamond League or below. If you are like in the Conqueror League or in the higher Diamond Leagues, people are just so good at scouting, so it will be really hard to get through with this. But you need to do this a little bit sneaky, because 1 spearman can't protect the villager. But here we go. You keep on rallying to gold until you have 4, and then you rally back to the food till you have 8. My scouts over here looking what resources we can find. And preferably here we see the 2 big wood lines that the enemy has, and that is exactly what you want to hit. Now, this is the French opponent. If you can hit both wood and gold, perfect. You won't be able to prevent the age up, but you can at least make him have problems getting the knights out. But you want to deny the wood line, that is the juicer. So my scout just continues around. You can see the pattern here going around just to see what he has, and then he goes back to bring in additional sheep. Here you can see his scout sees what this is happening. If this was a good opponent, he would probably keep his scout here since he's seen the villager, and then be able to rush the tower. And the whole strategy will kind of fail. But there we go, just building a tower, not too greedy. Just want the first tower here. I usually also keep the spearmen on top of the villager. So if the opponent, if you're not looking here and the opponent comes in, he will have a harder time clicking at the villager when he's attacking. Here we go. We rally onto stone when we have 8 on the sheep. We bring 1 to build a house and then back to sheep. And then we age up. And we do that with minaret madras. We will rally onto stone till we have 2 on the stone. And then we will rally onto the wood until we have 6. I do a little bit of a mistake here, leaving this villager idle. But he will go back to the food. And as you can see, my tower finishes at 416. This is roughly 10-15 seconds before the first knight comes out if you're playing against a pro player, French. Normally the French knight hits your side of the map at the 5-minute mark. But this makes sure that the French hopefully will stay in its own base and deal with this situation. For now I don't have resources enough for a second tower, so I'm just gonna put these guys in and let them stay there for a while. See here, I'm rallying into the wood line. Here we go. Another villager comes in. And then we just keep rallying the spearmen to the tower. And there we go, we have 100 wood. This is the moment where you should actually immediately pop out, or a little bit before, so you can start producing the next tower. I'm a little bit delayed here. The age up is about to finish. And you just get 6 on the wood line, and then you rally to the food line. Because the whole point of this situation is to go to keep the opponent in his base, while you just get all the food and the gold to age up. If you have 4 on gold and rally all the workers to the food from here on out, you will have pretty much a perfect timing on the resources. Also, you want to get horticulture as fast as possible. That is crucial to get the correct amount of food, because you will have a lot of food workers as well. You will want to upgrade arrow slits on this one, and there goes the second tower. Excuse me. Now, When we enter the feudal age, you can switch up to the Sipathi instead, but since we're against the French, I might just get more spearmen. And there we go, second tower. And now, the Vizier point. You get the Anatolian hills for this one. I know the Mehter is the more common choice. As of this patch, many people think that's an OP unit, and I can agree. It's very powerful, but we're not really using that in this strategy. We want the mining and the bonus food, so we can stay close by. We don't want to go out on the map to get food. We want to stay in our base. So the 2000 food you get from the Vizier is more than plenty to get you to the castle, and all the extra sheep you bring in just will go into units, and this will constantly support villager production and more. So here I'm going to the third tower. I would suggest going for 2 or at the max 3 towers. Don't go more than 3 towers. I have a little bit of a situation here, because here the AI actually does the correct thing. If you listen to BTQD or any other how do you deal with a tower rush, is that they say don't actually deal with it. You get maybe a few archers out to just pick off the villager, and then you want to counter-attack. So the AI here actually does the right thing, but as I will show you later on, most people just stay in their base and try to deal with the towers, and the towers are actually just a bait. But I bring back the stoneworkers, I pop off those guys, and then back to work again. Also, I didn't scout properly. I should have seen the spearmen coming. Right, we will speed this up a little bit more. And there we go. I'm starting to build up the production, because this is crucial as well. I'm just gonna pause for a little bit. You want to go up to 3 barracks. You don't want at this point to invest in the military school, because you don't have the wood to support getting all the barracks up. Plus you need a blacksmith as well. The blacksmith makes your unit production go down to, I think, it's 16 seconds for a man-at-arms, with this which you will be able to pump out with the great economy you will have. You can continuously make men-at-arms. So you go for the barracks first, and then later on, when you have the resources for it, you will get additional military schools as well. But their age up comes in around 850. Excuse me. Now, at the front, this is like the distraction is done, the damage is done. He is probably investing into dealing with these towers. He is probably delayed in many points. I'm just gonna bring the villager back for now. There the blacksmith comes. I actually get supply blocked here, a little bit of a mistake from my side, so I'm just gonna take some of the stone and build a house. As you see, I have plenty of stone, so getting the military schools won't be an issue for me. And as we age up, you will see here, we have a sub 10 minute age up. And from this moment I can just spam out man-at-arms and go full baboon. Going full baboon means that you don't need to micro shit. I will also switch this military school to man-at-arms in a while. So here we go, we still have plenty of food underneath the town center. We have food over at the Twin address, and we're producing man-at-arms at 16 seconds. I forgot to mention, you bring 8 workers out to build a landmark, which 6 of them will go back to food and 2 of them will go up to gold, so you have a total of 6 workers on gold. 6 workers on gold will give you about 250 gold per minute, and if you want to produce man-at-arms 3 at a time from these, you will get 4 out of each barracks each minute, which means that you will need about 240 gold per minute. So 6 workers on gold is fine to support this. And now for this video, you can I'm just gonna rally up to the tower just to collect some man-at-arms. You will probably start hitting their food echo if they have expanded, or there are other resources around the map, but for this video I'm just gonna rally them here, just so you can see how much you will get. Building another military school, and also upgrading iron undermesh. That is also crucial, because you will be dying in the town center a lot. And probably their response to the earlier harassment was, as I said, going archers. I'm just keeping rallying into the food. And I also went for the military camp so I can get the 3rd military school up, which I forget in this video for a while, so but you should build it right now, before you build this one. You will get the mask and start collecting the relics as well, because why not? I'm speeding it up, you see, I'm continuously making man-at-arms all the time, maybe a little bit idle sometimes. But here is also a mistake from mine. We're hitting about 12:22, and my sheep start running dry. So this is the time, around 12 minutes, you should start looking for a different food source, but you will have plenty of map control with the man-at-arms to do so. The enemy shouldn't dare to push out from his base by now. So what happens, I run dry for a little bit on food, you see here they start stacking up, I'm not looking, and there I realized. So there is a little bit of a halt in the production, because my food doesn't tag along. But I'm just getting a meal here and some deer down here. Mangonel hits, and I move in to attack the opponent, and I'm just gonna do a little stop right here. So we're at 13:30, and I have, let's see here, this is 33 man-at-arms and a mangonel at 13:30, which I can just go, as I said, full baboon with. I'm also starting to pick up the relics, and I'm gonna soon add the 3rd military school, which will also go for man-at-arms in this one. So, as I said, this is quite a powerful strategy. I've had some success, I've tested it a lot, I've had some success with it. I have refined a little bit, like going for 6 on the wood is a later addition, because I figured that is better to get all the production you need up quicker. But I will show you later on how it works versus a real opponent. As I said, you do want to be a little bit sneaky with the towers, because you won't be able to defend them early on. So maybe it's better to put the first one back here and then just leapfrog your way to the front. but in this video and in the lower leagues where I play, people are just not good at scouting it, so you can be a little bit more aggressive with it. Alright, that's it with the build. Now I'm gonna show you a game where it is performed versus a real player, so you can see that it is a viable strat. Let's see, we can have this one, I think. Yeah, so this is against a Chinese opponent, and I think this guy was diamond as well. I hope the father isn't angry with me showing this video. Hope he learned something. Alright, so I'm gonna go into caster mode, and I'm just gonna speed it up. I'm doing the same build. The exception to the build here, as I said, I go to only 5 on wood instead of 6, but everything else is the same. Maybe I think I screw up the military schools and the barracks a little bit. But as you see here, I bring my scout along and I found his gold. I found a sweet little spot to place the tower, and I keep in mind, if you do the Drongo build with the Chinese, you will have your Barbican up at 5 minutes, so I know that I will have some time to get the towers up before that happens. And even if he would to put his Barbican in the back, his gold will still be denied by this tower. The thing is, his scout is right here, so he spots this and still doesn't react, which is just luckily for me, and maybe common a little bit because we are in the lower leagues, or the lower leagues, the diamond leagues. I guess it's the second highest, so but not in the Conqueror League. Then he will probably do a villager pull at this point just to deny the tower. Alright, speeding it up. I go in for a little poke, and then I just start doing some aggro. Same thing here, I pop up my villager when I have 100 food, and I found this next little spot, which is also kind of juicy. It hits the gold. I know I said before that you should hit the wood line, and you should. But this was, yeah, it is what it is. I did wrong here, but as you see, he commits quite a lot to defend this gold. He puts the Barbican down, even though I have a tower that soon will have arrow slits. And then I pop in my stuff here, so they can start shooting at his archers. And now he realizes, okay, my other gold is screwed. I'm just gonna slowly bring down the pace here. I'm gonna bring back the caster UI. No, I'm gonna do like this. I'm gonna put in his perspective, so you see what he sees. So he actually doesn't even know, or does he? Yeah, he does know that there's a gold up there. It's just not showing in the UI. But so this gold is denied, this gold is denied, and as you see, I bring my guys out here. I do a big mistake. I just place down the tower without looking, and he actually gets a town center up, which yeah, fucks me over. But I've done what I wanted. I've made him commit to start making some archers, and he wants to deal with this situation. And here my worker and my spearman dies, so that's a Papega move for me. But I can delete the towers, so now I have underspent 100 wood on these two towers, and I have more wood to spend on military production. And now I'm just keep my scout out here so I can see if anything comes this way. I have a tower that covers this area, and I have a tower that covers this area, so I see if any aggression comes from him. Yeah, now we're not against the French, so I'm switching to sympathy training to do some harassment. And there you see, I'm start getting the barracks up, and the landmark comes in. Here I have some issues with the positioning of the landmark, as you will see. I build I just built the blacksmith to see where I should place the landmark. There we go. So here I placed 2 barracks. I should place 3 barracks. Is that correct? But else is the same. Yeah, I'm just dealing with his scout a little bit. I'm not even looking here, I think, because I will lose this guy. Yes, but that is not what I care about. That is just the distraction. Alright, so here we go. I get another barracks, I get another military school. Age up about to finish. I should be getting iron undermesh at some point. But here we go. I'm just throwing in. I'm going full baboon with these guys. Not caring much about the micro. I'm just sending an in to start making some havoc. He for some reason is pushing out at this point, which there isn't much to push at. Well, he can hit my wood line over here, but my TC is kind of protecting what I need. And he realizes that he is more fucked in his base than I would be, so he starts to defend. Shuganu is actually pretty good against man-at-arms. But in the numbers that I can put out, it's not gonna help. I'm starting hitting some workers down here. And just keep sending this to their death as I leave the stupid on my side, but at least value their lives. But as you see, they just keep flooding in. So I will almost call this a semi-burger rush. With the amount of man-at-arms that you can swarm the enemy. And it basically comes down to the fact that I have all this food around the TC. I have the increased mining efficiency from the sear point. And I have the cheaper production buildings. This is only 400 for these 4 buildings, which would have been 600 else. So now I start stacking up, getting some more guys, while still having some harassing man-at-arms down here. He's running out of resources. And now I just go and kill his second TC. I have a mangonel now, so the correct response here for him should be to get some crossbowmen out, which he gets, but I have the counter for it already. These workers responding, and I go in. I think he tries to get a spring out here at some point. Yep, there we go. I'm speeding up a little bit, sending some to the food, just to spread out the harass. He sends in some workers, kills the mangonel. I have more on the way. And here we go with the more man-at-arms, just keep flooding in. And as you can see, the worker count actually is from mine. I have 50 and he has 48, even though he was in Song Dynasty and 2 TC. There we go. I think soon he will surrender to this. Yeah, there we go. Alright guys, that's it for this build order guide. I do hope that you learned something. You can please leave a comment down below, tell me what you think about it. As I said, this is my first ever YouTube content that I have created, and I'm sorry if I was a little bit unclear in how I said stuff. Alright, that's it guys. Thank you for watching. Bye.